Hi, it's Rich Tehrani here at SuperCom 2009 in the TMC newsroom in Chicago, Illinois. And today on our program, we've got Doug Webster, who is with Cisco Systems. How are you?
Yeah, very nice. Thanks for having us, Rich.
Great. So I wanted to start out by asking about a recent survey that your company did, and you've got some interesting results to share with us.
Yeah, we do. In fact, this is part of the Visual Networking Index that Cisco's put out for 5 years. In the past, we've always done a forecast where we use third-party inputs and then model what the overall traffic is going to look like in 5 years' time. And our recent forecast indicated that overall IP traffic growth is anticipated to grow fivefold from 2008 to 2013, so some pretty significant growth. And just yesterday, we were able to release the VNI usage study, and this is a program we're doing with about 20 service providers around the world, compiling a great deal of data, and then doing the analysis and finding some pretty interesting trends. I mean, on average, a broadband connection around the world generates or consumes 11.4 gigabytes of traffic per month. So
Wow.
It's pretty staggering
Wow.
level. But the top 1% of the internet users are consuming over the 20% of traffic, and the top 10% over about 60%.
That
So
1% is using telepresence, probably.
yeah, well, they're using a whole slew of things. In fact, that's one of the questions people say, like, what are these people doing with it? I mean, if you look at 11.4 gigabytes of traffic, there's really no way that it can just be after a regular text email, and that equates to about 3,000 text emails a day, which is just incredible. Instead, it's really indicative of this rise of what we're referring to as visual networking applications, very video-based, content-rich experiences that we all are incorporating in our daily lives. However, it also drives a great deal of traffic on the network and requires service providers to also have a lot of intelligence, because video is very difficult to deliver. So they need that intelligence in the network in addition to the bandwidth.
When you say video is difficult to deliver, can you explain how you help with that?
Yeah, sure.
Problem?
Video requires a great amount of quality of service, quality of experience. We have a great amount of technologies that Cisco delivers that actually helps make sure that we can correct flaws in the video stream as it goes through. We also are having some very unique applications that are integrated into our core line of routers. So take our leading edge router, the ASR 9000, for example. We recently came out with a 16 by 10 gig E card for that. So industry leading in that respects in terms of the bandwidth, but we also have elements in there that actually allow you to cache video content in the router and get it closer to the user to help minimize some of the delay effects and also keep that quality experience that all customers are really demanding.
Thanks for the explanation. Now, there's a lot of new things happening. Can you just give us an overview of some of the exciting items from the last couple months that are taking place?
Yeah, sure. So it's Cisco. We've been doing a great amount of innovation on things such as the ASR 9000 and the CRS1, which is our core platforms. We've come out with a whole new line of our integrated services routers that are very important for managed services offerings. We have some new cloud elements with our unified service delivery. And there have also been a couple of high-profile acquisition announcements that we're looking that are currently have been unanimously approved by the board of directors, and we're looking to close. But one thing about this industry, and especially Cisco in it, is it's never boring. And even though there are some downturns in the economy, now is the time to really get aggressive and prepare ourselves for the upturn.
Well, it seems with these acquisitions, I mean, we're talking about significant acquisitions and really big numbers that you're obviously committing to future growth in the next few years.
Yeah, I mean, just a couple of our recent acquisitions, some serious levels of investment, and then if you also look at our overall R&D spend, a very healthy percentage of that is going to service providers, well in excess of $5 billion if you include it all together.
And virtualization is a huge area as well.
Yeah, that's incredible. Not just needed from the data center perspective, where it's oftentimes included, but also as you're able to virtualize routers as well. And so, being a network company, we want to be able to bring that type of technology into the data center and into the network, and actually be able to intermix the two so that they function as one coherent system as opposed to a siloed network.
Well, I would say that real-time application virtualization is a significant portion of the market that is probably going to take off in the next few years as well.
Absolutely. You know, some of the other things that we're really going to see take off is, we believe, is IPv6. IPv6 has been talked about for years, right? But now it's at the stage where we're less than 2 years away from IPv4 address exhaustion. I mean, so in less than 2 years, we're going to run out of address spaces. So now it's going to be much more top of mind with a lot of our customers. In fact, Cisco recently announced some capabilities where we can actually do carrier-grade network address translation in our core system, the CRS-1, that's deployed in thousands of locations around the world, that actually can help service providers mitigate that near-term need and actually allow them to do both IPv4 and IPv6.
Well, that's good news, and I know that new areas such as smart grid and machine-to-machine will leave us in a world where we probably have millions and millions of more devices that need IP addresses, and so we might even see a ramp up in just the devices that need these IP addresses. I mean, on top of the smartphones and the laptops and the notebooks and the netbooks, we now have a whole generation now of new sensors that we've got to deal with as well, right?
Yeah, you have RFID. I mean, a whole slew of it. Just like you're talking about, this is a really exciting time for the industry and the providers that are investing in these advanced IP next generation networks. And we're working with hundreds of providers around the world to really build that network they're going to need. It's going to allow them to kind of transform themselves away from just being a communications company and allowing them to be much more of an experience provider, where they can have a whole slew of custom applications to provide a great deal of relevancy to all these new different vertical markets, transform their business. That's going to be nothing but opportunity, all leveraging the network as the platform.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for being on the program. This was really fascinating to learn about what your company's up to.
Good. Thank you, Rich. Appreciate the opportunity.